Hello everybody, my name's John Dexter, in case you haven't seen me before. With this lockdown, we've been pretty limited to where we can go and what we can do, but we are allowed to take the dog for a walk. So that's good. So I thought I'd combine the walk with hopefully a little bit of photography. Can't speak. I'm lucky enough to actually live sort of, I've got some woodlands on my doorstep, which is a good dog walking area and sometimes good for a bit of photography. Although it is, as I say, woodlands, and I'm not a great fan of where's my dog gone? Oh, there she is. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm not a great fan of woodland photography. It's always sort of difficult to get order out of the chaos. But as I say, we're pretty limited to where we can go at the moment, so beggars can't be choosers. So I'm going to have a hunt round, see if anything takes my fancy. If it does, we'll get the old camera out and give it a go. Quite liking this composition with the let me try and oh, that's it. Yeah, with the are these pine trees? Do they call them pine trees? Talk about ignorant. Anyway, I'm liking these trees with the sort of bushes set in front of them. I think that could perhaps work. Or maybe that over there. Trees are a little bit set together a bit more there, so that might make for a good image. Yeah, so I think I might get a bit closer and take a few shots of that. Okay, so we'll hopefully I might got an image from that. I think I know there are some silver birch trees. At least I remember the name of those trees down here, so I think we'll take a stroll down there and see if there's any images to be had. But can't really see anything else here that's striking me at the moment. Okay, so we've got these silver birch trees here. Actually, there's not as many as I remember. I don't know whether they've chopped some of them down. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, they're quite attractive. Sort of 4 or 5 trees in a row. So yeah, I think I'll get the camera out and give this one a go. Actually, I've just noticed some more over here, so oops, if I can get to them without breaking my neck. Oh god, yeah, it's getting a bit swampy, but yeah, we'll take a few shots of that, I think. Right, I think that'll do me today. It's only going to be a short video, or short day out really, but I heard this morning that Boris might be sort of lifting some of the restrictions of staying at home, so as long as we're not stupid, hopefully we can get out and do a little bit more photography. Because I don't know about you, but I've certainly missed it. So yeah, we'll get home, have a look on the computer, see if I've got anything today. If I have, I'll put it up on the end of the screen. Or if I've got anything, I might even sort of, if I do some editing to it, I might even sort of run through that with you as well. So yeah, we'll get home and see what we've got. Okay, we're back at the computer now. I actually ended up with 3 images I was quite happy with, which was surprising. 2 of them I'm going to quickly run through what I did to them in editing. But this one I'm not going to bother, because all I actually did with this was just sort of tweak the colours and the contrast and so on. So there wasn't really a great deal I did to this, but I was really happy with the sort of colours that I ended up with in this image. So yeah, I was really pleased with this. But the next 2 I'm going to show you, I will run through the what I did to them in post, but only sort of quickly. I won't go into it in depth. The second image up is this one. Now, I was actually quite pleased with the way this turned out as is, but I don't know, there was just something about it which wasn't really me, if you like. So I thought I'd play around, and the first thing I did was I turned it into a black and white. Let's turn that on, which I quite like that in a way, but you've lost all sort of, I don't know, the foliage in the front has sort of disappeared. So what I did is I turned the opacity down to about 81%, which has sort of brought a little bit of the sort of green back into this foliage, and also the sort of trees, which I quite like that look. The second thing I did was I played around with the levels and curves, which has given me that basically. So it's brightened it up, it's made it pop a bit more. Let's turn it off. That's all a bit black and dark and dull, but with the levels and curves, it's not only sort of brought the image to life, if you like, but it's also given much more detail in the image. So, and it's also made this foliage a much nicer colour, I thought. Yeah, so I was happy with that adjustment. These auto retouch brushes were literally just to get rid of unwanted sort of distractions, if you like. Like when I crop it, I ended up with a little bit of this light coming through the tree, so I basically got rid of a bit of that there. So that's roughly what that's done. And the final thing I did was give it a square crop, which has given me that final image. And if we compare the two, I was quite happy with that. You know, what do you think? Do you think I've ruined it? I'd like to know your comments. But yeah, I was fairly happy with that final image. Finally, this image, I was sort of quite pleased with it. It's not the sort of image I would have probably kept, but I thought I would try something completely different. And I knew the direction I wanted to go right from the start. So running through the settings that I did, the first thing I did was I pulled over the shadow protection all the way over to 100%, which gave me that. I then turned the image into a black and white. I then put in a graduated filter into the bottom half of the image and adjusted my levels and curves, and I pulled the highlights a long way over, which is basically overexposed the bottom half of the image. But I quite like the way this was sort of going. I then put in a graduated filter into the top half of the image, and again in the levels and curves I pulled over the highlights only to about halfway on this one, which has given me that. I'd sort of lost a bit too much detail in the trees, so over the entire image I again opened up the levels and curves and I pulled back the blacks, or pulled in the blacks, which has sort of brought out some more detail in the trees and a little bit in the foreground. And finally I gave it a crop, and I was really pleased with this image. As I say, it's something I haven't done before, but yeah, so it's great fun sort of playing around with your images, and you know, I was really pleased with the outcome. Well, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like below. All the links to my website and Instagram, you can be found below. Can be found. I can't speak. Can be found below. To all those people who have subscribed to my channel, I really thank you. It's a great help, and if you haven't already done so, please consider doing so. Yeah, I think that's all that's left to be said, except stay well, stay safe. Hopefully next time I put a video up, we can be out and about taking the images that we love to do. So yeah, until the next time, this is John Dexter saying bye for now.